Hello everyone! I cannot believe that I am back after so many years of not making any content. Um, I'm finally back as a K-pop fan, and so as you can tell by the title, I really want to rank MONSTA X's dancing ability, I guess you could say. The reason why I sound a bit hesitant here, if I do, is because I've noticed many people don't rank MONSTA X's dancing ability. I think it's because they're actually all pretty even, so I'm just gonna try and figure out things. Honestly, I don't think I have a settled list. Quick disclaimer, I am not a dancer. I'm only amateur with K-pop dances, and I was a ballet dancer, but otherwise I am in no way a professional, so do not take any of my words as gospel. I'm just here to kind of explain my thoughts, and I will also try to keep everything as objective as possible. Without any further ado, let's get into this dance ranking. Now let's just keep in mind that all of MONSTA X are really good dancers, and honestly none of them are bad. With that being said, number 7 is I.M, or Kihyun. I believe that I.M is a really good dancer, and he is a great mood maker. I think the best aspect of his dancing is just the general sensation he gives off. No matter where he is, he puts in all his heart into the moves and almost lets the high of the song drive him. And I think the aspect he's most consistent in is his facial expressions, but not necessarily for a good reason, I suppose. He tends to hold a very blank face no matter what song he is doing. As for his freestyle, his freestyle tends to look like it's done on a whim. It's clearly inexperienced, yet you can at least tell he's a dancer. With all this being said, I think when it comes to improvement, he needs to work on overall control of power. Without it, he consistently overdances by comparison to others, and his facials can be quite intense. Okay, 6th is Juhani. He's a very sharp and strong dancer. In fact, I think that's his best aspect, his sheer power and sharpness in his dancing. Juhan is pretty much always sharp and needs to exude swag any time of any song. He is super interesting to watch. I'd say his most consistent aspect is his neck movements. He actually, if you watch him closely, his neck movements are so lithe. And for his freestyle, he's clearly inexperienced, always shy and repetitive. Now, as for improvement, as much as I love his sharpness, I think that he could improve on his smoothness. Sometimes his being so sharp cuts him short on important and lithe movements. Also, his facials tend to be a bit too intense at all times. My goodness, Minhyuk has some really good candidates. Anyway, 5th is Minhyuk. He is a captivating and confident dancer. I think the best aspect of his dancing is his passion. His facials and movements are a great balance of expressiveness. He also exudes a great idol dancer feel. His most consistent aspect is definitely his sexiness. Anyway, his freestyle is clearly inexperienced and rough, and he uses his butt a lot. Honestly, he needs no improvement. Anyway, no, but if we were to talk about improvement, I think he needs to have more leg spacing. Sometimes his leg spacing doesn't match the others. Same with his chest movements. They might be a little bit underdone. His dancing can be somewhat too focused on certain body parts. 4th, we have Kihyun, who I would call the clean, dedicated center. The best aspect of Kihyun's dancing is his dedication. Hamster goes all in, especially when he centers. He adds great power and facials to make you feel any song. His most consistent aspect is probably his diverse facials. When it comes to freestyle, though, he's a bit awkward and bouncy. Also, he's very unsure of his arm movements, but he does have potential. I would say for improvement, he needs to improve on sharpness consistency. Sometimes he only goes in for the chorus and sometimes loses power, only slightly underdancing. I think this happens because he's so sharp with every part of his body that he may get tired. Needless to say, as a former cheerleader, I really like Kihyun's style. Okay, and thirdly, we're gonna talk about Wonho, just about his dancing. Shoulders, chest, arms, legs, head. He's always got a flow to him like no other, and it's so satisfying to watch. His most consistent aspect is his perfect chest movements. Obviously, with a build like his, he nails the chest movements. His freestyle is obviously amateur, but super cute. Kind of reminds me of myself in a way. As for improvement, I think his sharpness is a bit mechanical, if that makes sense. So I've noticed in like later performances, the downfall to him having so much muscle is that it's difficult to be as sharp as the other members. But still, I really miss his dancing. And at number 2, we have Hyungwon. I think that Hyungwon, in 3 words, smoothly defies logic. I think the best aspect about his dancing is his compensation. I don't know, man, for some reason, this just blows my mind. Hyungwon perfectly incorporates with the others despite having longer limbs, and he still looks very natural about it. He even adds super sexy facials. His most consistent aspect is probably his sharpness allocation. And as for his freestyle, not applicable. He rarely does it. So I think if he were to, he would probably have a lightness to him, but he does somewhat exude hesitation when being called out. I think, therefore, he could improve on memory both with his own songs and freestyling because he has potential, obviously, as a dancer. And finally, for number 1, it's Shownu. Yes, I think we all could have surmised this. Anyway, I think that Shownu's best aspect is just his technique. He's obviously very smooth and sharp at the correct times. His movements are insane. He's just so lithe and knows how to take advantage of it. And his most consistent aspect is the way he never over or underdoes any moves. He really knows how to balance. And of course, his freestyling is amazing and impossibly instinctive. Like, he's just always on talk shows and whatnot. He's always like on call, ready to just dance at any moment. As for improvement, I guess he could be sharper. His movements are so clean, but they very occasionally aren't as powerful as the others. I don't know, this could just be my eyes. Wow, I didn't realize how quickly I went through everything. Well, anyways, this concludes my video. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, and be sure to tell me if you agree or disagree.